We know very well, and we've heard it all our lives, that we're called to be followers of Jesus, to witness how he was with us in our lives. We're called to let everyone that we come in contact with know how our life has changed because of our relationship with the Lord. And to do that, we live authentically. We try to act in accordance with the words that come out of our mouths. It may not be quite as hard as it sounds, because St. Francis memorably said centuries ago to preach the gospel at all times. Only use words as necessary. And for me, that's a comfort. All we have to do is just kind of keep showing up, following Christ, and we're doing what we've been commissioned to do. And so today we are celebrating the Ascension. His work has now been completed, and he goes back to the Father. And what I'd like to do is to kind of trace his path with you, and to show how that path of his corresponds to our path as well. So imagine a gigantic U, big shape of the U. And in the beginning of that U, Jesus comes down from heaven at the appropriate time, sent by the Father. And he comes down to Mary, to her womb. He's born. He lives his life. The U is now approaching its lowest point. He's killed. And even then, it's not the lowest point, because he goes all the way down to hell, to be where God has not been before, to give hope to those who died before Christ had appeared. Once he's gone down to the lowest point of that U, he now starts to come back again with his resurrection. He appears for 40 days back on earth, and we're completing that 40-day time today. And then he continues with the upward slope of the U, and now he's back with his Father again. That's our destiny too. Jesus comes up from all the muck and all the slime of the death and the degradation that he went through. And then today he gives us our mission so that we can complete our journey. So I'd like you to consider this image. This is from a painter called John Singleton Copley, 1775. And your face and your eyes are naturally drawn to the vision, to the image of Jesus rising. But I want you instead to focus on the posture and the expression of the disciples who are left behind. We're seeing deep sadness. One person's lying on the ground. We're seeing confusion like they've never experienced before. They're raising their arms up as if to say, "Where are you going? You've only been with us a short time and now you're leaving again? Show us the way." And so he shows us the way. There's a song you may have heard some years ago called Abraham, Martin, and John, celebrating the lives of Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, and John and Bobby Kennedy. And the last lines of the chorus go, But it seems the good, they die young. I just looked around, and he's gone. And so these men are looking around, and Jesus is indeed gone. They're experiencing this most bittersweet time in their lives. They can't hear the truth now, but they will at some time, once the Holy Spirit has come to them, that eventually they're going to experience an ascension of their own. For us now, we're still kind of approaching the bottom. We still have to go through our own deaths. We still have to sink to the bottom of our own experience. Sometimes we sinners hit bottom when we think, well, I guess there is no hope for me. I keep committing the same sins over and over again. I just don't seem to learn. There's no hope for me. Or maybe she in her depression can only focus on the faults in her character. She can't see the goodness that's there. And so these sinners hit bottom. And when we hit bottom, that's the time when we can start rising upwards again. We can't see ourselves as God sees us. He sees us as magnificent beings, glowing with light. And someday we'll see ourselves that way too. Someday when we complete that upward line, that upward part of our journey, and complete that you, we're on the way. Right now we're trying just to do our best to bring the gospel to the people in our lives. And once we've gone further down to our own deaths and to our own purification and purgatory, we will have our own special day of ascension. Each one of us, due to the power of God that raised Jesus, is going to raise us also. Someday, the feast of the ascension will apply to you and me. And so we can say, Alleluia, Alleluia.